We're visiting with the Cowsills on the Steel Pier Radio Show, once again in Atlantic City. The Cowsills just returned a few weeks ago. Let me start by saying what a great show that was on the beach in Summers Point, right down there with Carmen and Nancy Murata, the whole Tony Martz experience, all in play with the Cowsills.
We love Carmen and Nancy. We love that beach. We love watching the high tide come in and make the audience move to their left.
Yeah, we love that.
You know that
a lot of good fun.
That's never happened before. All those factors in play, the moon the way it was, we've been doing
really?
20 years. It's never happened.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because we actually figured, look at these locals, they know just where to sit. It's miraculous.
Yeah. I was one of the ones that had to move. I thought I don't think we're going to make it. You played.
Wow. Well, that was quite a night. We love playing there. We really do.
Yeah, and Carmen and Nancy love you guys. You're such a highlight, and they saved you for the finale, which was so great. It really was. Hey, let's talk about the new album, the Cowsills in the 21st Century with new music. How excited are you about Rhythm of the World?
I don't think we could even express it because we're too old. No, I'm just kidding.
Paul is still exhaling.
Yeah.
Now, who said it? We're all so old. You're new now, right?
Yeah, Bob said that actually a few years ago.
Even what we do is kind of new, harmonizing, because we'll be at a show and people will come up to us. How are you doing the singing part? And we've been asked if we bring singing samples with us, which of course we never do, but we understand why they might go there mentally or orally. But being out with something today in our career, we are blessed to have an opportunity to bring this music forward and have a team around it that is ensuring that it gets at least heard, and so all you people can hear it and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
So
it was really.
Go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to say, Don, it was truly a labor of love. Once we decided we were in it, to do this album and to really do it, everything started locking in and things started clicking into place. And all of a sudden we had an album's worth of new songs, which was a great thing. And it just all happened in the strangest way, almost like we weren't really in charge. We were just doing this. We were writing them and recording them. So we didn't even have a chance to figure out if they were any good. But we kept looking at each other in the recording studio, go, hey, this is good, right? Hey, this is good, right? I mean, we really didn't know.
How could we go wrong?
What happened next, fortunate for us, but the rest of the equation came into play then. We met an executive producer, Rock Positano, who believes in us and backed us and is in it to win it. We saw I'm with Omnivore Recordings, a great label for the Cowsills. We're just excited about the whole team that's now around this and part of the game. It's fun.
How was the writing? Let's talk about, you're on the road. You did a spectacular, triumphant Happy Together tour. Once again, was it the 7th or 8th year, I think. And you wrote this album along the way. Is that how it all happened?
Yeah, that is exactly how it happened. We've been kind of hedging toward making an album, or let's say that I've been kind of nagging everyone to make an album over the last 10, 15, I don't know, you guys. And
True.
once we kind of said, okay, let's do it, then we just kind of started to see if the three of us could write together, because that component hadn't happened yet. Bob and Paul wrote all the time when I was a child. And it was like magic, man. I mean, Bob, you guys tell him, because it's really kind of weird. It was just like everything else we do. It's like we decide we're going to play a game, we set it up, we play the game, it works out great, we go about our business.
And it was like a dam broke, honestly.
Yeah.
As soon as we got into this writing, it was almost laughable to us because it was just pouring out of us. All the music, Bob writes all these melodies and this music for all these words that we're writing, okay? And,
right.
You can come to Bob and you can read something to him and he'll go, hey, is that a poem? And then I would go to him, well, no, I think it might be a song. And he goes, give me that. And he grabs it out of my hands and he goes, all right. And comes back with these incredible melodies, okay? And so, man, things were just clicking, A lot of times, things don't go as smooth as they did. I mean, for Bob to come up with all those individual melodies to all these different stories that we're telling,
there are only so many
was
notes.
Like crazy. It was just like the universe was working inside of him.
My version of that, of course, Paul has a song he wrote all by himself on that album,
Sure, yeah.
I mean, we all do melody. Susan has a career of melody. Okay.
Yes.
But to Paul's point, so I'm the melody guy on this tour because we're seeing these swift roles develop. And so I can do that. They're lyric people, and I'm going, wow, they're lyric people, because we haven't been this much together to know that about each other yet. So once you get that in the room together, wherever we were in the bus, we're in the dressing room, we're in the hotel room, but we're together feeding off that energy, not remotely, but literally in the same room. And it just was a positive experience that, like Paul says, it was like a frenzy. It's like once we started, we realized, oh, we have a lot of songs in us and they're spilling out now, and we let them spill.
And seriously, they take about 20 minutes and then we're off to the movie.
Wow.
It's like we're kids. We want to get the work
it
done so we can
depends.
go
I mean,
have fun.
So some were, 20 minutes. Yeah, some songs went right into the studio with us, and we still hadn't finished them.
Now you're visiting.
Right.
You're visiting 50 cities in 60 days or so. What did it wind up?
56.
Yeah, did it wind up being a great place to see things and write things on the road?
So,
Yes,
right, yes.
Yeah, because we had a lot of dead time, I mean, the Happy Together is a fantastic evening, but it's like an hour and a half at the most, too. And now we have 23 more hours of the day to deal with,
Yeah.
And so you can either sleep them away, or you can eat them away, or you can start writing and do something
And
productive.
it's interesting, and I'm thinking about it as we're actually talking, guys, because look, for the last 8 years, every summer, we get on this bus together. And though we are a very close family, we know each other frighteningly well without needing to speak, talk, or anything. But I think while we were hanging out, we started sharing ideas and thoughts that were like-minded. And as life will be, especially I guess for people like us who are, I guess, artists, that turned into the music, the things we were talking about, the things we had experienced over the last 15, 20 years that we hadn't talked to each other about. We were out living them. So I think it was like a very organic and authentic moment, as is everything we kind of do because we have no plan.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. All right, we got 11 songs. Well, I'm glad about that. Now what?
Now, since Global, I figure Global is almost 30 years ago, the world's a lot different place. So you're writing in a sort of a whole new environment, especially as crazy as the last few years have been. Are the Cowsills, are you exactly where you should be at this time? The things you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, we are. Yes, we are exactly where we should be. All these songs on here, I mean, one or two, maybe not, but all of them are what we've been experiencing through our lifetimes, and you've got Rhythm of the World, and this is what we're hoping for. You have Nuclear Winter. This is not what we're hoping for, but we're old enough now to be able to say whatever we want, however we want to say it. And so that's a good feeling, and that liberates a person.
Super
and
fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. Yeah.
Because this album is definitely different, right? I mean, there's a different vibe. There's just a different feel about this album, I think, than anything you've ever done before.
I think it's called Russ Broussard and Mary LeSang. Our rhythm section, you said feel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Our band from Global, our band is a totally different band. The band on Global was totally different than the Cocaine Drain, and the band on Captain Sad was different than We Can Fly. Look, this is our
2 by 2 on my side, boom.
This is our history. So the band that you hear on Rhythm of the World, are the 7 of us went in there. We've been touring for 16 to 18 years. It's the 3 of us, of course, our brother John's careers with the Beach Boys, everyone knows that. And we replaced some brothers that passed away with some sons. And my son Ryan is our keyboard player. Paul's son Brendan is our guitarist and vocalist. And yes, Susan's husband Russ and Mary LeSang on bass. The rhythm section in particular added something brand new for the Cowsills that we've been playing with them for 18 years. It wasn't new to us. It's really more their roots.
Louisiana roots.
Are coming in through Rhythm of the World, and those are welcome. We love roots. We talk about them in the liner notes on the album. And yes, it is a different band, but with great team behind it. And the message, yes, look, there's unrest, there's political unrest. There's everything that's going
Civil
on today
unrest.
was going on in the 60s when we came forth. Back then, there was racial unrest, there was social unrest, there was this.
Strange.
Again, what's old is new, what's new is old. So we address it as an overall, though. Yes, as Paul said, you can blow it up we can love each other. Lend a hand is just saying, just love each other. Okay, that's a quick solution.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
About-
favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what the interesting thing, Don, is about, back to your question about, this sounds a little different, the Cowsills. You know, yes, we've been playing 16 to 18 years and with Russ and Mary, but we're doing shows, you know, and we're
Yeah.
pumping these things out and we're doing cover tunes and then the Cowsills, okay? So all along, yeah, this is fun. We know we're a good band, you know, but then we get into this original stuff and then we record it. And now even Bob, Susan, and myself, we can now hear it. We can now hear what you're hearing. In that, wow, this sounds so different for us, but it's not so different, but it's the rhythm section. And that's what came through to us. We really didn't know that's what we had behind us. Everybody would come up to us and go, after a live show, and go, man, Russ is incredible. He's a incredible drummer. And we would go, oh yeah, we love him.
Yeah, we know.
But but now we understand what they were hearing.
Yeah. No, it's special. And, you know, and still, the Cowsills are still a family band, which is great. I mean, that's been
absolutely.
your legacy.
100%.
The
And Mary Lasang is a sister for sure, so it's a sealed deal.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, you got to revisit some great subjects. You got to remember Brother Barry. What a beautiful song, Katrina. Was it
thank you.
difficult? Was it cathartic? How did it feel, you know, to remember your brother in a beautiful song like that?
Both of those words are absolutely on target.
Yep.
It was difficult. In fact, put it off for years. Not put it off. It's not like, oh, we better write Katrina, somebody. It was just, it wasn't time. Then it was time. So you write that song. It was an experience. Once you enter the experience of that particular song, you open it up, and all of a sudden I'm writing in the first person, which is a little weird. I've never written a first person account in a song. So I'm figuring, oh, I guess Barry's speaking. And all of a sudden we're getting his story. We're getting his story. And I believe what is in Katrina is his story, that he passed in a wave. He just got in trouble and picked the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And down he went. So
I was just out there yesterday, day before.
Wow.
very difficult.
And you know, it's
And even
interesting.
When we perform it, we know, I can't wait to perform that thing in New Orleans. That'll be quite a night. I don't know how that's going to happen, but believe me, it'll happen. And
That would be crazy.
Get George Ford on bass. Just
just
get
gotta watch what you're thinking when you're the lead singer of a song that might affect you over emotionally. So we're all ready for that kind of thing, and we'll do it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Susan.
And there's a lot of songs on this record that are like that. You know, there's a lot of songs where, you know, the stories came to us and they went down on paper. It was, and so we have those. We have message songs. I'm just thinking about the album now when Bob was talking, and like Katrina, we've got, you know, some other songs that tell a story specifically.
Yeah.
and to our own surprise a lot of the time.
Yeah. And then what's fun too, you have the Turtles remind you to get up, you know, and you get to write a great song with that energy, you know?
Howard!
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Exactly.
Don. Let me tell you. Every night, Howard from the Turtles at the end of the show, it's the fun song at the end. Yeah, but you gotta get up. You gotta get up. And we're going. There's a song there. There's a song. That was the first song we wrote. And I mean, Paul came into the bus with, you know, the whole
That
first and
was that
second verse.
15-minute
Where did that come from? And I'm going like, okay, let's do this. And that was a quickie. I will admit that. But since it was the first one, you know, we thought, oh, well, this is easy. Well, you know, we're going to spend months writing.
That was
these
a
songs.
weird
It
moment
wasn't
because
gonna
I
be
remember
easy.
that counterpart that
It
came
was
in
a-
my head. It was like we were
But
one
it
machine.
was, yeah.
There were 3 parts going on, and we're
And we
gotta
are the
get
best.
up.
We are the best procrastinators I think you're ever going to have sitting in front of
no
you.
day.
Oh,
Man,
I love it.
We're the worst about that.
Right,
man.
Paul, if the universe hadn't put us that summer in the bus and in those dressing rooms and in the hotel rooms, we wouldn't have found each other.
No, we never would have
How you
put it-
doing?
we
Hey, I got a
never would have
song.
set
Well, I'll
aside
check
the
with you
time.
later about it.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
on.
is it a hoot playing with all these legends yourselves and Gary Puckett
gosh.
and, you know, you got the Turtles there. First off, that was
Dream come-
That was the show of the summer in our region. I got to tell you, we're blessed with great entertainment. But that Happy Together tour that hit Ocean City on that little music pier, that was the show of the summer, you guys. And you guys, I mean it with all sincerity, you guys stole the show. You really did. But what a collective, particularly when that great encore that you guys do together, when you see everybody,
Finale.
that is so great.
It's historic.
Yeah.
It's history on the
it's-
stage, left to right.
Yeah.
It's beyond a hoot. I'd say it was more an honor, privilege, and can't believe we got that. That's being asked to the ball.
Well, and it's such a great collection of artists, and you do belong there. You're so great, and the fact you've kept this going, I can't believe we're talking more than 50 years now, which is extraordinary. I really can't believe it.
And all the artists on the Happy Together tour, you know, we are the babies of that tour, which is kind of crazy, you know. And just to see all those people, you mentioned the end, the finale. I think people like that sometimes more than the whole show, because, you know, they're seeing their younger life. They're young, we're young. It's like kismet, you know. It takes the whole group, the people in the audience and the people on stage, and we're really able to feel that, and we know this, you know, and it is an amazing thing. And when we all bow, people are going, wow, look at those are the Cats, man.
Yeah, and you're all together, which really, it's such an all-star band.
It's, remember, as you're looking at that, us lined up there, we're the first generation of all of this. We're the ones that are going to lose the money. We're the ones that are going to have the bad contracts, taking advantage.
We're the dinosaurs that got hit by the meteor.
Yeah, more than coming to see the 6 groups they're going to see, and they all know we're in our 70s and 60s. Acknowledging Susan, they're there to hear the 35 hit songs that we're going to play that are going to affect them emotionally in a way that they affect us. You know, and that's.
I was just going to say, make no mistake that everybody on that stage, like when we have our bow, when we go off, we not every night, but there are many nights where everyone will look at one another and go, oh, we can't believe we're still here. We pat each other on the back, going, wow, holy cow, another night. What?
Yeah, and the whole show is great. I mean, from the announcer all the way through. I love the countdown, the whole thing.
It's a peppy night.
Yeah.
I call it. It's like it's Happy Together camp. You go for 20 minutes of cardio every night, and then you spend all the other time walking around in circles. Going back to the bus, venue bus, venue bus, 20 minutes of cardio and sleep, and venue bus, 20 minutes of cardio.
But
sleep.
you know what you all remind me of? You remember Johnny Maestro, of course, the Brooklyn Bridge and the Crest and all that.
Sure.
I did the last interview ever with him, and I didn't realize until we went back how sick he really was. He was still performing to the very end. It was unbelievable. But I said to him, you know, the crowd, they couldn't stop cheering tonight, you know? And he says, you know, I learned a long time ago, he said, the audience isn't cheering me, they're cheering their memories. And he was so humble. And that's how he felt, just what you communicated to me, that here is this audience, they breathe in this whole spirit from you guys. And it's so beautiful.
They get to be with us.
Yeah.
They get to be there. We were on the radio, they were in their car or at their beach or wherever. And now we're in the same room 50 years later, having that same feeling again, all of us.
Yeah, it's so great.
And by the way, Don,
yes,
your question. Yes, we were new to the tour also, okay? So the first year we arrived, we're those fans. I'm saying the first time I watched Mark Lindsay sing Kicks, right there in front of me in his part of the show, I'm watching this Mark Lindsay sing Kicks. I've sung Kicks in pubs for decades. Yeah. And the specialness of that guy being in front of me, I could touch him. It's a great honor this time in our life to have gotten that tour and met our colleagues this way.
Yeah, it's so great. Yeah. And how about Gary Puckett?
There was no MTV back in the day, Don. There was no MTV, no VH1 for our demographic. So our people are not looking for us on those screens. They're looking for us down the road at the auditorium.
That's true.
And it'll continue that way. We thought maybe we'd have half audiences this year. You know, when is this going to end? And we always look at each other and go, well, when the audience stops coming, then it'll be over. And man, I'll tell you, we're going to be going into our 80s and 90s with these people.
I don't know who's going to give up first.
Yeah, nobody's giving up easy.
Are you committed to the Happy Together tour for another year?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Keyword committed.
We do what the universe orders.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yes, we are.
In our hearts, we can't wait to get back to that tour.
So now here,
that's our favorite spot.
So Rhythm of the World hits September 30th, just a few weeks from now, less than 2 weeks. And what are the Cowsills going to do? Are you going to tour a little bit behind this album? Are you going to just let it get out there? What's your plan for the fall and winter?
The year has already been booked. So September 30th comes. Yes, we have Rhythm of the World out, but we have commitments. We're going to be in Illinois October 1st. We have a 6-week Christmas engagement in Branson, Missouri, November 1st through December 9th. And then we're at Wisconsin Macombs Buck Center on December 10th. We're in Natick, Massachusetts, December 17th, and Sellersville, December 18th. yes, we're going to transition from we play our own hits, we play cover tunes, we love cover tunes, but we will introduce our audiences now to Rhythm of the World tunes. We've already begun to do that in the hope of a full transition and a Grammy Award. Thank you.
How about that?
Yeah.
That sounds like a song. Who wrote a song? Someone wrote a song about the Grammy. I forget who it was. I think it was Carl Wilson from the Beach Boys, because he never got a Grammy. He should have got a Grammy. And he wrote a song about the Grammy having not.
Whoa. The Beach Boys never got a Grammy?
I think Carl said he never got a Grammy. That's what he said. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Is that crazy? But there are some astounding stats of,
Now I feel we don't deserve Kidding. Anyway.
But this, I got to tell you guys, this has been such a pleasure to interview all three of you at once. What a treat this is. And,
Thank you. No.
Thank you, Don.
yeah, this is actually the first. I've never done more than one in a Zoom, so this really was so pleasant. Is there anything? What else would you say about? Is there anything you want to say about the album before we go? What would you say at this juncture? Are you really happy with the end result?
Crazy
You know,
happy.
I just listened to the whole album a couple of nights ago. Hadn't really heard it in a while. Wanted to make sure when we're doing these things that, when somebody goes, "Hey, great album," I kind of know maybe what they're talking about, But look at this album is great. I mean, we don't know these songs hardly any better than anybody else. They haven't sat with us for 6 years. I mean, some did, but the bulk of this stuff all is fresh and just right off our brains. So we're just expecting maybe people just give it a listen. So we're really
Yeah.
I've got to say the Cowsills into the 21st century. You guys, you're strong. Your level of performance is just extraordinary. And they're still 2 weeks later, still talking about you, Susan. Since I see you on the screen, "To Sir with Love," you knocked that whole beach out. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That is your favorite song, Susan? Is that your favorite song?
It's pretty much, it's Desert Island.
So good, and you deliver it so
Thanks.
well. Not an easy
Thank
song
you.
to sing, I imagine it. I don't.
You can't think about things like Bob said. You
Right.
just sing.
You got to sing, right? You got to feel it, right?
Yeah.
Well,
one of
Bob,
those songs.
Bob, Paul, and Susan, the Cowsills, thank you so much for coming back to the Steel Pier
Thank you, Don.
once again. It's been such a
Yes.
pleasure.
Everybody go out and
Catch
get
up
Rhythm of the
soon.
World.
September
Yeah,
30th.
Nichols. I couldn't help it. Lucy came into my head.
Nichols. All right, everybody. See you out there. Look for
Guys,
us.
thanks so much. Take good care, everybody. We'll see you
See you
again.
later. Come to Wisconsin. Come to Sellersville, everybody. Buy your
Love, come
tickets. We're going to
everywhere.
rock it. We're going to rock it. Be there.
Rocket.
Ladies
Thanks,
and
Don.
gentlemen, the Cowsills. Take care, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.